Hello and welcome to this special edition of The Right Brazilian. If you have any questions about Brazil, ask The Right Brazilian. As many of you may know, there is a significant amount of Brazilian thinkers, political analysts, and journalists currently classifying our regime as a full-blown dictatorship, and they seem to have some valid arguments to support such a claim. Let's examine some of them before getting to the point of this presentation. There are some conditions for one regime to be considered a dictatorship. Political prisoners are a must, of course, and we have hundreds of those. Actually, over 1,000, proudly arrested in a treacherous maneuver executed by the Brazilian army together with the federal police on January the 9th. There's got to be exiled people too. Yes, we have those as well. Journalist Alan dos Santos from the late channel Terça Livre, currently living in America, is an example. Paulo Souza, a humorist from Canal Hipócritas, is another example. Of course, a real dictatorship cannot exist without ferocious censorship. And yes, we have that as well. Quite wonderful, eh? Indeed, in that matter, we have a very rich ecosystem. From big tech censorship to official government persecution, we certainly cannot complain. And it is in the awful practice of persecution that lies a key factor to understand our quite particular model, the diffuse dictatorship. Certainly you have noticed that a major symptom of the disease is missing, right? How come anyone claim to live in a dictatorship without the usually mustached figure of the dictator? Amid cigars and military uniform, pet animals and pet advisors, there is always a noticeable figure barking the destructive commands of a totalitarian regime. And there is where Brazilians' notorious creativity has operated a big wonder. We have a system dictatorship. Of course you have leaders, that goes without saying. However, there's not one but several. And they fight between themselves up to a certain point. Up to the point where power may be at people's reach. When that extreme and worrying situation approaches, the whole commissariat forget any difference to unite against the people like a perfectly tuned orchestra. There are actually a lot of players in this musical metaphor. We have the media system doing what they do best, that is to sell themselves to the ugliest bidder. We have the majority of the academy, since decades ago, an exclusively Marxist turf where no conservative may thrive unless carefully hidden. We have, as already shown, the armed forces leadership playing loudly and proudly. And of course, in the front row nowadays, we have one of the most appalling judiciary systems in the world. In that area, one may sigh sadly and hope for the dream of a better place to be, like Uganda. But alas, we are in Brazil, and the Supreme Court seems to be able to play several instruments at the same time, leaving speechless even the legislative. That should not be a problem. After all, for those elected represent only the people, and that's who cannot come a mile close to actual power. So, all is well. That diffuse character has delayed comprehension of our poor country status by our main voices. That and fear, of course. We have plenty of that around here too, rest assured. I have fear as well, by the way. But you know, I'm a Christian, so I have other worries and motivations besides fear. So please do not let the absence of a mustached culprit deceive you, nor let anyone tell you that a single individual is the threat. We have a bold first violin in this terrible orchestra, but there is a regent behind that, or several to be precise, or to be diffuse. I am Eduardo Vieira, the Right Brazilian. Thank you for watching.